What the hell is going on here? I said to myself as I pulled into the driveway. The strange machine immediately took me by surprise, and alarm bells immediately began to ring. No one should be home at this time, and of course, no one was waiting for me either. My wife has to be at work, and so do I, so it's understandable that a certain car in our driveway would set me off. At that moment, a variety of thoughts raced through my mind. Has someone robbed my house? Was someone really hurt? To hell with everything, I thought. I'll figure it out on the spot. Through the garage window, I saw my wife Taylor's car. It was strange. Now I was starting to get nervous, trying not to think about the worst. I walked around the house and went inside. There were clothes strewn across the living room floor, so now I had a clear idea of what was going on. To be honest, I was a little taken aback and really hoped there was a reasonable explanation for this. But deep down, I think I already knew that my marriage was over. I didn't hear the sounds of sex, so deep down I held on to the faint hope that she wasn't cheating on me. But in reality, I think I was lying to myself, trying to avoid the inevitable pain. The guest room and bathroom were empty, but the door to our bedroom was closed, so I listened at the door first and, not hearing any obvious sounds of movement or talking, slowly opened the door. A crack. The whore was lying there naked and sleeping, cuddled up to some asshole I didn't know. This was proof enough for me. I blushed. Sadness had not yet shown, only anger. I left the room and retrieved my Springfield from the gun safe in the garage. At this point, my finger was really itching, so I took a deep breath to try and relax. I didn't want the situation to get out of control. I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do at this point, but I felt like a little revenge wouldn't hurt. Returning to the house, I found in his pants pocket a scumbag's license and work identification, which indicated that his name was Kenneth Brightwater, and in fact he was an employee of the law firm where Taylor worked as an executive director. Fucking asshole, I muttered under my breath as I started walking up the stairs to our bedroom. I tapped the gun 3 times on the doorframe, loud enough to wake them both from their post-coital slumber. My wife rolled over casually, yawning, then turned pale and gasped loudly in shock when she saw me standing in the doorway with a gun in my hand. The asshole hadn't quite opened his eyes yet, and when Taylor came up to say something to me, I looked at her threateningly and put the index finger of my free hand to my lips, ordering her to remain silent. She recoiled, trembling in horror. "What the hell is this?" The shithead burst out when he finally saw me standing, pointing a gun at his head. I interrupted him. "Shut the fuck up, idiot. Now is the time to listen, not talk. Now I will ask a few questions, and you will answer them truthfully, or you will die. Now nod if you understand." He nodded slowly, eyes wide in shock. "First of all, what is your name and how do you know my wife?" I tried my best to pretend to be calm. My name is Kenneth, and we work together," muttered the Casanova wannabe. "I'm sorry that I interrupted him again. "Look, buddy, I didn't ask if you were sorry until I asked you, and if you're going to keep talking, I'll just get to the point and put a bullet in your head, and then I'll put another one in the head of my whore wife." She whined, clearly scared, but didn't say anything. He nodded again, now visibly shaking. "How many times have you had sex with my wife?" 3 times. He's learned not to go into detail. Great. "Okay. Did you know she's married?" "Yes, I knew." "Okay, good, Kenneth. You may be a creep, but at least you're honest when your life is on the line. Look, buddy, it's actually not a good idea to have sex with other people's wives, especially with my wife. I know some guys enjoy humiliation and shit like that, but I'm not one of them. You came and stepped on my heels, so now you have to pay for everything. The good news for you is that I don't need this whore, so she's all yours when I'm done with you, so you can have sex with her as much as you want without worrying about anyone catching you and you'll wet your pants again. In any case, that's not what we're talking about at the moment. Kenny, what you're going to do is crawl over here and lick my shoes until I say stop." His eyes widened. "Now, if you refuse, or my wife moves from this position, you will both die. Is everything clear, little Kenny?" He looked scared. his will to live struggling with his manly honor. I was thoroughly enjoying myself. The adrenaline I was feeling was pumping me up, and it was truly very inspiring to have complete control over another man and see him cower in front of me. Yes, he may have taken my wife and my marriage, but now I was going to take either his manhood or his life. His will to live finally won out, and he slowly crawled across the floor towards me, the gun pointed firmly at his head. "Calm down, Kenny. Don't do anything stupid, okay, buddy?" He nodded solemnly. I took out my phone and recorded a video of him crawling towards me on the floor. I kept recording him as he started licking my shoes over and over again, until I told him enough is enough. After that, I told him to step back and hit him on the head, and he lost consciousness. As he lay there unconscious, I finally turned to my wife. "Okay, what the hell does this all mean? I'm really sorry, baby. We worked together for a while and just became too close. I didn't want this to happen, but it did. I have no excuses, but baby, what are we gonna do? I don't want you to go to jail because of me. What I did pushed you to the edge of the abyss, and I don't want that, and I'm afraid. It may not seem like it, but I love you. Please, let's just run away." "Okay," I said. "Now you are an accomplice to everything that happens here. Wake up your boyfriend. Please, baby. He's a mistake. He was never my boyfriend. I love you. I'm ready to spend my life in prison for you. I can't promise that I won't screw up again, but I promise that I will try my best, and no matter what happens, I will only love you." She cried. Jesus, I thought. What kind of apology is this? She didn't even promise not to do it again. Oh, well, screw it all. I guess she's being honest. If there's nothing else, we'll just have to see what it is will end. Okay, just wake him up, please. I told her to go a little softer, and she did so by shaking him and splashing water on his face. She seemed to be trying not to hurt him further, but she was trying to do it in a way that didn't give me the impression that she cared about him. I knew that she was not a cruel person, and it was not in her nature to hurt people physically if she could do without it. So I did not blame her for this small act of mercy. "Okay, Kenny, are you with me, buddy?" I asked him in a friendly manner when he seemed to have regained consciousness. He groaned, probably in pain, but I just took that as an affirmative answer. "We need to clear up a few things, Kenny, so we can move on with our lives, okay?" He just looked at me, puzzled. "Now, Kenny, I have set up emails to be sent automatically to all of your coworkers within 24 hours unless I cancel. It shows your lust for my shoes, video of your facial expressions and all that, okay? There's no gun in the video, so unless you think you can live with everyone knowing you're a licker, it's in your best interest not to have the police show up at my house with kidnapping charges or some other crap like that. It is also in your best interest to make sure that the $100,000 reaches the account indicated on this piece of paper within 3 days. Indeed, no one wants to get holes with a diameter of 9 millimeters in their head. Is everything clear to us now? Any questions?" "Everything is clean here," he said, simply looking at the floor. "That's excellent, Kenny boy," I told him, cutting the cable ties. "Now, if you don't mind, I think you've overstayed your welcome." He took the hint, grabbed his clothes, and walked out the door with difficulty. "We want a quick sale," I told the real estate agent. "Regardless of the amount, we are leaving today. The only thing I want to hear from you is when I need to sign and when the check will be transferred to our account. I have a development company that is looking for property in the area, so that won't be a problem," she replied. "I will have all the necessary information for you as soon as possible." "Great," I told her before leaving. "The time has come to move on. The $100,000 that Kenny boy generously gave me out of the kindness of his heart, along with the money from the sale of our house, will allow us to live with appropriate comfort somewhere in South America. I don't know where yet. All I know is that I couldn't have done this without Kenny boy's help. This guy's generosity knows no bounds. My wife is on a short leash, but I really love her. I don't know much about love, but I do know that I'm happier with Taylor than without her. I talk tough, and I don't like to show it. But she really broke my heart when I saw her in bed with Kenny. The only reason I forgave her was her choice not to turn me in to the police. She decided to sail with me and go down with the ship. So screw it all. Let the cards fall where they please. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story. Because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.